Today on BTV News Channel 3, we shed the light on an expensive problem that has recently been happening in the Benjamin School parking lot.
Plus, this year, for the first time, Mr. Anderson ventured to the Grenadines twice with groups of students from his History of the Caribbean class.
And in sports, the girls lacrosse team has had a great season so far and are currently preparing for the playoffs.
Hello everyone, and welcome to BTV News. I'm Luke Martin.
And I'm Katie O'Hare. You give us 15 minutes and we'll give you the latest news that affects you and the Benjamin School.
Plenty to bring to you today, including a look at the many Benjamin singers who participated in the Chamber of Music concert at the BPAC. But first, our top story. Due to construction of Benjamin Hall, there have been many vehicles coming in and out of the parking lot, and there has also been an increase in flat tires caused by screws and nails. Coincidence? We'll have you decide. Hadley Lane has more.
Since the beginning of construction last spring, the parking lot at the Benjamin School has been full of construction vehicles and equipment. This has caused about 10 students to receive punctured or flat tires.
I just came back from classes and I went to go get my stuff out of my car, and both my passenger side wheels were completely blown out and I could see the screws. They were visible in my car. And there's trucks that go in the parking lot all the time because they have to do things inside the construction zone. So I feel like definitely the screws came from one of those trucks and they just didn't clean it up in the morning. And it was just like really frustrating because obviously there's a lot of people going through that parking lot and there's a lot of cars. So I feel like they should really be able to clean up that parking lot, make sure nobody's tires get like punctured or flattened, because sometimes it can be really expensive to replace tires.
Well, I was pulling in to the senior parking lot where all the trucks and construction were, and I felt a little pop in my tire. And when I got home that day from school, I had a huge nail in the front of my tire. And I'm always cautious going in the front lot now because I always want to get there early, but I'm scared that if I hit another tire, my car's going to be ruined. So I'm afraid to park there now, which is kind of annoying.
Students talk about ways to possibly eliminate or lessen the amount of tires getting punctured in the parking lot.
Just being more clean and tidy around the construction site, making sure that they don't have supplies just laying around, and also like I'm pretty sure they should be going through the parking lot with magnets to pick up the tires, because that's usually what they do during a construction zone.
This issue is something that happens at most, if not all, construction zones.
With that, probably 75 to 80 vehicles, many of which trades use screws and nails, etc., and that type of material. And so we have worked with Suffolk Construction to alleviate the amount of damage and nails and things that would be in the parking lot. So Suffolk has worked hard to keep the parking lot clean. Really, in a construction site, there really is no way to prevent it. All you can really do is police it. Much like any construction site that you would have at a shopping mall or other residential construction zone, there really isn't any prevention for a truck to drop a screw off of the bed of their truck.
With the construction winding down, hopefully there will be no more flat tires in the Benjamin School parking lot. This has been Hadley Lane reporting for BTV News Channel 3.
Thanks, Hadley. Every year, Mr. Anderson takes a group of students down to the Grenadines to witness firsthand the culture and beauty of the Caribbean that they learned about during their senior-only elective, History of the Caribbean. Hannah Cogswell enlightens us on the success of this fun trip.
The Grenadines trip is a trip Mr. Anderson runs that brings a group of kids every year to the Grenadines Islands, located in the Caribbean. After taking the course taught by Mr. Anderson, called the History of Caribbean, students finally got to experience everything they have learned and did many things they would always remember.
We jumped off into a waterfall, which was pretty cool, and we snorkeled for turtles. We ate at a really good restaurant named Venus, and we saw a lot of trees too.
We traveled around to the different islands and we got to interact with all the different little kids there, and we met new people. We went on boat tours and we went hiking. We got to see some old battlegrounds and forts and other fun stuff.
We landed in Grenada, and the first day we took a whole full trip tour of the island, and then we took a boat to Union Island and Happy Island, then landed in Myro, where we spent 4 days, and then we took a ferry all the way back to Grenada.
This trip is so special to both the native people on the island, but also our Benjamin students.
It was an amazing experience, and you learn a lot, and you also get to see a lot of things, and especially going with your friends, it's a really cool experience.
It was really, really nice to see a completely different place, and so we had a great time with the locals, hanging out with them.
All the little boys would get little toy cars and they'd race them down the hills there. It was a lot of fun to watch them race and see how much they enjoyed it and how much it meant for them.
The trip is chaperoned by another faculty member along with Mr. Anderson, and they enjoyed different things than the students.
It's a great opportunity for our kids to be outside the country, and I think it's a good opportunity for the kids to see our kids. I think being with our own students outside of school was my favorite part of the trip.
I love the beaches. I love being with the students outside of school. It was great to see their different personalities come out. I thought they handled themselves very well. Snorkeling was amazing, and the weather overall was great, so all in all, it was a fantastic trip.
Mr. Anderson has been going to these islands for 20 or more years and has a close relationship with all of the natives.
Mr. Anderson's a cross between Santa Claus and a mayor there, and he has a great relationship with the kids and the adults on the island.
Mr. Anderson knows everybody on the island, and the kids adore him.
I've been going to the Grenadines for 25 years this month. This was my 25th anniversary of going to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the reason I go there, besides the beautiful beaches and the beauty of the islands, is the people. It's a chance where a little bit of a donation, a little bit of a help can go a long way, and you can see it. You can actually see the difference that you make there.
Juniors, get excited for the great trip ahead and don't forget your sunscreen. On behalf of both 2015 trips, thank you so much, Mr. Anderson. I'm Hannah Cogswell reporting for BTV News Channel 3.
Thanks, Hannah. The Benjamin School is home to a very talented chorus. Recently, these singers showed off their talents at the Chamber of Music concert at the BPAC. Thomas Camp attended this performance and has a report.
Last Friday, there was a chorus concert at BPAC. Dr. Nagy tells us about the performance.
This is individual performances, and it's much harder. In a way, it's harder for students because in band you play together with everybody, so it's not so much pressure on you as an individual. Whereas if you play in front of the people alone with a pianist, then you are on your own. You cannot rely on anybody else. So it's much harder for the kids to do this, and they get more excited about this than playing, excited in a way that they are a bit nervous about playing in front of public, playing their own instrument.
Mr. Bazar, an attendee of the performance, tells us about his thoughts.
Dr. Nagy, and his group and the chorus put together these leader songs in chamber music. And chamber music is usually something that you don't see at the high school level. And it was such a treat because I'm there. It's 8 o'clock. It's here we are in the Barker Center, and this beautiful music is being expressed, is being sung.
Two chorus members tell us about their experience last Friday.
It just feels good to be on stage, and you get to share your voice with the audience, and the feedback from them is really nice.
We spent a lot of time preparing for the performance. It was a lot of hard work and dedication, but at the end, it really came together, and I think Dr. Nagy was proud of how it all turned out.
We were glad to see that the chorus had a great concert on Friday. This has been Thomas Camp reporting for BTV News Channel 3.
Thank you, Thomas. It is time to step aside for just a minute, but plenty more ahead when BTV continues. We find out how the girls lacrosse team is preparing to have a successful postseason. BTV Sports is next.
Hey, I'm Dan Marino, Hall of Fame quarterback. BTV Sports is coming up next.
Hello everyone and welcome to BTV Sports. I'm Spencer Schauer bringing you the latest in Benjamin athletics. So far this season, the Lady Bucks lacrosse team has had a great year. With spring break coming up in just a few short days, the girls are working hard to make sure that they do well in the Jacksonville tournament over the break and into the postseason. Zach Rubiano went to the field to find out more.
Entering spring break with a record of 5-2, this year's varsity girls lacrosse team has shown themselves to develop a strong team.
We've had a lot of girls step up. We obviously lost Haley Sicklin, who was one of our key players in a lot of our really big games last year, but we've had girls like Autumn Ryan really step up when it comes to scoring, and as well as Maria Totolo, and Reagan John's also been moved from defense to midfield, so she's been making up for a lot of that running for when our middies are a little bit tired.
Our offensive powerhouse, Kylie, Autumn, Maria, and Hannah, they all do a great job of leading the offense.
This year's girls varsity lacrosse team is battling through the season with a few key challenges.
Lack of girls that we have on the team. We have a pretty small team. We have about 4 or 5 subs, and lacrosse is a running sport. So when it comes to running up and down the field, I think that it would be nice to have some fresh legs in there.
I think the biggest challenge is having a lot of seniors that have left and having a lot of freshmen. Half our team is freshmen this year. But even though a lot of freshmen, they've been doing well with the high school lacrosse.
The biggest challenge that the team has faced this season has been the amount of injuries that have occurred. We've lost some really great players to their injuries.
Members of the team don't fear the temerity of their position and have created a strong sense of camaraderie amongst themselves.
The team's biggest strength has been the way that we've bonded. We've really come together as a real one team. The seniors have been really nice to the underclassmen, and I've really felt like I'm a part of this team.
Our team's been doing really well with what we have, and I think that we're going to be able to go pretty far. And I also think that having a young team, it's really good for the growth of the program. So I think that in about a year or two, I think my coach will again have a really strong program like she's had in the past.
Good luck to the girls heading to Jacksonville over spring break. Reporting for BTV News Channel 3, I'm Zach Rubiano.
Thanks, Zach, and good luck to the girls and boys lacrosse teams as they travel to Jacksonville and Virginia over spring break to take on the best. That is a look at BTV Sports. Back to you, Katie and Luke.
Thank you, Spencer. That will close out another edition of BTV News. We thank you for joining us and look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of weeks.
For Katie O'Hare, News Director Max Chesnes, Producer Hadley Lane, Director Kyle Malone, and the entire BTV News team, I'm Luke Martin, leaving you with a look at some of our faculty baby pictures. Can you guess and see who they are? See ya.